All right, Domination, man. I'm excited. I've never interviewed you, but it's cool to have you in the seat, man. Uh, Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me. Quiet Part Out Loud podcast. What's
Yeah,
up?
yeah. So, Domination, man, how's everything? How's it been going? I know you did the Cam Capone interview, and I thought, man, this guy's good at like not content, but just really being your authentic self. Because sometimes people just do sit downs and ain't really much being said.
Oh yeah, I mean I got a lot of history, so I could definitely like recall it like with no problem. If you're telling the truth, it's gonna come off authentic as
Yeah,
always.
yeah. I remember you from the Beef DVD.
Oh
Ah, that
man,
was classic, man. That was like, it's interesting because the Beef DVD is like, I think there was a lot of clearance issues because they used music they was not supposed to use, so it can't even be like played anywhere.
wow, I didn't know that.
I think that's what happened because they used a lot of songs. Like, I feel like it would be all over TV if it was cleared
it
properly.
it was on BET
This
for
show,
for a number of years. It was playing on BET.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember the TV show like where it was like on every Wednesday like at 10.
Mm-hmm.
And but like the original doc, that was the joint. But
Right.
Soul Domination, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Obviously, you from Queens. There's a lot of like every borough loves their borough,
Yeah.
but why like this Queens like seem to have a hold on people, and really matter in a way? And how did it shape the people who tell stories in hip hop?
I mean, Queens got a lot of history, all the way from North Queens, like Queensbridge, the Nas's, the Mobb Deeps. Then you can go down to Left Rack. You got Capone Noriega. You got the Lost Boyz from South Side. You got Onyx from South Side. You had people like Mike Geronimo. You got dudes like Ja Rule. You got people like 50. Like, we have a lot of culture in hip hop in Queens. You know,
Who influenced the like? Who was the like person that influenced all these rappers that probably doesn't get any credit?
that influenced them.
Yeah, or was it kind of like it just came the way it came? Like that's all.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like back in the days there was room for a lot of influence, and it wasn't just from people from Queens that's gonna influence you. It's like there was people all over, right? That was doing hip hop that were good at it, that were nice at it, and they had substance. I look at today's music now, and I'm like, damn, there's no self destructions, right? There are no nonchalance out there. There are there's really not room for people like Missy Elliott. You know what I'm saying? These type of people.
Because it like Doja Cat, kind of a little missy. I don't know, but
Um,
a little crazy. But
I like Doja Cat. She's a different genre of pop. I'm talking about as far as hip hop goes. There was room for a lot of different demographics in hip hop, I should say, and I think that started changing even around like the time that Nicki Minaj came out. You know what I'm saying? Because Nicki was the only woman in the game for a long time, right? When Lil Kim was out, you had Eve, you had Foxy, you had Missy,
Rod
then
Digger, yeah.
Rod Digger, Nonchalant. You had all of these different demographics that represented a part of hip hop. It's like nowadays hip hop it be stuck in one area. You know, like
Yeah.
1 minute it was stuck in the South, and I love the South, so don't think I'm talking no bad about the South, right? Then it was stuck in drill. You know, like I don't know, man. Like
Yeah, it was just so
the
many
influences
factors.
is different nowadays. Nowadays it's really not room for anybody but the top dogs.
Yeah, one thing about you, Domination, is that I think a lot of the purveying thing is like the folks in the entourage, like the other rappers are corny. Like they're not as good as the main rapper. But I've listened to your music. You're actually really talented.
I
And I think
appreciate that.
it's tough for people to wrap their head around like a crew with Lloyd Banks, Young Buck, even though Young Buck comes later, Yayo, Game. Like there was also somebody who was really, really talented. And who was your biggest influence and how did you go about making music?
Oh man, I had a lot of influences. My aunt used to rap. My aunt May, shout outs to Aunt May. She used to rap. She used to actually do shows. She used to take us out on her shows, and we used to like be like her hype men. I remember she took us out to Coney Island one time, and she was performing. There was a dude that died. I think he fell down the elevator shaft. But this was when I was real young, so she was like my biggest influence, right? And then after that, it came teachers that I had, Miss Gerson and Miss Britnam. Like we were doing the choir thing. Like I was like singing for old folks. Like and I feel like music does a certain thing to people, and that was like influential to me. After that, it was the Nas's, it was the Wu-Tangs, it was AZ, it was a lot of people, Biggies, it was the Pacs, like, you know. Like I said, it was a number of people that influenced me. DOS Effects, like these are the things we was listening to when I was younger, you know.
One thing that struck me about you that in the Cam component of you is you said you was listening to Eminem.
Yes.
And like it wasn't like there was a taboo to listen to Eminem at a certain point, and it was like admitting you listen to Eminem, admitting you think he's dope. Not only that you listen to him because he's pop, but admitting that you think he's talented, he's a great lyricist. Right. How did you kind of gravitate towards Eminem naturally, not just because 50 Cent was with him or anything like that?
Nah, I used to watch MTV in the morning before I went to school, and the first song I heard from was the High, My Name Is, you know, and I listened with a critical ear because I'm from that era of hip hop, like where you had to be able to rap, and I didn't just look at him as like some goofy white boy, you know. I listened to his music, and I was like, oh, he actually is talented, you know. And I think originally I had the bootleg, you know, because back in the days you used to get the bootleg to see if this person was worthy enough for you to buy their album. So I think I had the $5 bootleg, and I was bumping it, and I was like, nah, I gotta go get this album. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was really nice. Like I think like one of the songs that made me really gravitate for him, like he said, I calmed down now. I was heavy once in the drugs. I could walk around straight for 2 months with a buzz. That shit killed me. I was like, yo. That shit and the shit with him and Royce the 5'9", I was like, oh nah, son is really, really talented, you know. So I didn't look at it as yo, it was goofy to listen to him, and I never followed trends anyway. Like I move the crowd don't move me.
That's fire, man. Yeah, it's those first few albums of Eminem, man. He was like he figured out the Matrix, man, and that whole 50 Cent G Unit, even the way they was marketing 50, like the fact that he was like some like bionic soldier, like Universal Soldier. Yeah. That was great. Yeah. One thing because you mentioned the South, was it kind of, because I think one of the things that was cool about 50 was how he did the Southern influence. Yeah. Did that like rub Queens the wrong way, or was it like, nah, that's fire the way he did it?
It didn't rub me the wrong way. I mean, like I said, I'm from a time where we had love for everybody. Outkast was out, Trick Daddy, like Thug Holiday is one of my favorite joints. I never had a problem with the South. Like, I don't know who caused this like cultural divide, but it came a point where New York and the South was just like, or New York was feeling some sort of way because the South got it now, or it was just like the South, and the South was feeling some sort of way because they felt like New York niggas was feeling some sort of way. But I never was on that at all. You know, I got people all the way from New York to Florida, so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Was Nelly a big influence on like what we, because some people say Nelly was a big influence on.
Was he a big influence
on the especially that like 50 look? Like people say that.
Oh nah,
because Nelly came out before.
I can't say that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't say that. I can't say he was an influence. I do know this though. It was talks. I was around talks of 50 saying one of his gimmicks when he came back out was going to be to punch Nelly in the face. You know. He wanted to punch Nelly in the face because it was controversial, and he had just sold 10 million records. So that was one of the things that he actually wanted to do.
Like really, like punch,
like punch Nelly in the face. Yeah, yeah. You know,
that is hilarious.
That was a gimmick thing that he was going to do. Yeah.
The rapper who punched Nelly in the face like that. Damn, but Nelly was the dude. But I think it's important to kind of lay out the groundwork of Queens because there's a story history with Queens, and I believe there's a statistic like Jamaica is the center of black home ownership in America.
There's a lot of culture in South Jamaica, like, you know, St. Albans, a lot of the jazz musicians, a lot of the artists and whatnot, they lived in these nice homes over there in St. Albans, you know. But if we talking about like the mecca of black business and black ownership, I had to get at the Harlem.
Yeah, yeah, for
You
sure.
know,
The Renaissance and all that.
yeah, I have to give that to Harlem. You know, they were the ones that really like spearheaded this black business, black ownership. You know, this thing of ours type of thing.
Is there like a disconnect between like, because I know in Queens you can actually like own a house and it's like black people own houses.
Yeah.
Is there like a disconnect between like the people who live in the projects and the people who live in the houses? Like, is there, or is it
No,
like one
because
big
in
community?
Queens, it's houses right up the block from the projects, right across the street from the projects. So like, we never looked at them any different at all. Like we all hang out on the same boulevards and stuff like that. So it wasn't like a divide. It wasn't like, yo, you live in the house, because a lot of people that was in South Jamaica, they was living with their grandmothers. You know what I'm saying? And a house that their grandmother had. So they still was like, you could say they still was hood, because they wasn't growing up with their parents. Their parents might have been drug addicted, or their parents might have been incarcerated, or just heavy in the game. You know?
Yeah, yeah. The Lost Boys, they was, my brother was big into them. Like, and how was the Lost Boys movement? Because I feel like that
What?
was the precursor to.
What?
Yeah.
I was in junior high school. That's around the time that, you know, you really start feeling yourself around junior high, like, and so you start exploring, like, with drinking, with smoking, with whatever you getting into, you figuring it out in junior high school, right? Yo, the Lost Boys was a major influence, man, and yeah, they like the heart of Queens for real. I ain't gonna lie to you, like they really influenced a lot of people, you know.
Very positive. Like, I think they did stuff that people would call like lame. Like the dance they used to do.
Right.
That was unique. And I don't know, like, it was fun. It
That'll
was,
be shuffle.
yeah.
People do that dance to this day. That's a fact. I always tell Cheeks, I say, yo, Cheeks, like, you know, you one of the ones, you know?
Yeah. And they always had like a simple type rap, but it was more like Renee is still one of the most underrated. Even though at the time I feel like people appreciate it, I don't think in time people consider it like up there with like Slick Rick Children's Story. Like Renee
What?
is a classic song.
Wow. The writing on that song, I told Cheek, that's a classic for real. For real, for real. Like I if anybody don't look at Renee as a hip hop classic, I think they on drugs. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah, yeah. Why do you think their like status? I think in Queens, it's like obviously there's no denying the Lost Boys, but why like you think in this story of hip hop, I feel like it isn't as prominent as it should be.
You know what? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know, because they had a good reign. They sold a lot of albums.
Sold a lot.
They did a lot of tours and whatnot. I think maybe because they were a little more quiet after Talik died.
Okay, can you explain that?
Talik was like the soul of the group, you know, and he was like Cheeks' energy.
The heart.
Yeah, he was that energy that Cheeks needed, and I think when Ty died, a part of Cheeks died.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't the same. It's funny because, you know, people on my side of the bridge on 134 and God Brew, we kind of hated Cheeks after Ty died.
Why?
The story behind Ty getting killed, right? People equate that to Cheeks. People felt like at the time, like, yo, that was supposed to be Cheeks because that was his drama. Talik was an innocent individual. He got caught in the crossfire. You know, just like I said in Camp Capone interview, another kid named Magus, right? He got killed also. He got caught in the crossfire. He had nothing to do with what was going on, you know? And I think people were bitter around that time. It caused a division between Lost Boys on 134 on God Brewer and Lost Boys across the Van Wyck, you know? Like, we really did not like Cheeks at a point in time. Like, we mended our relationship a little later on, but, you know, my cousin J-Ball, he hated Cheeks. Like, my family, like, we were really against Cheeks at that time.
So there was a division between like the different fan bases in the Lost Boys.
No,
Like,
not different fan bases. People get it confused. They think Lost Boys started out as a group. No, Lost Boys was a crew in South Jamaica. You know, you have different crews. Like you had LF Fam. They was on Rockaway and 147 or in the buildings or all up something, right? You had the Boondocks. They was on 142, right? You had the Lost Boys, which we was on Rockaway and 131. We was on by Lincoln Park, by 111th, by 134 on God Brew, Rosedale. Like Lost Boys had the biggest reach, really. So it was different factions of the Lost Boy crew, the street crew, right? And the Lost Boys on 134 was very disappointing when Ty got killed.
I mean, is it possible to really ever really hold somebody responsible for something that, not that y'all did, but like blame somebody because the streets are so volatile. Anything can happen.
Again, at the time, dudes wasn't thinking like that. Dudes was upset because Talib got killed and he's one of ours, right? And we felt slighted because it wasn't his beef, you know. So I mean, is it right to assign blame? Maybe not, but
It felt right.
people do it all the time, right? Like if something happened to you and then something happened behind something happening to you, and then these people come back and retaliate, who does it fall on, really? You know?
How did you guys get back cool? Was it a Tom Hills all wounds type thing with Mr. Cheeks that y'all were able to like mend that bridge?
Yeah, he started coming back around. He started like coming to Thai days and whatnot. Like that's a big barbecue around my way that they do every year for Talik. Dudes just like kind of let Tom heal wounds. Actually, with me, like a good friend of mine, Zodiac Fish Grease, he's a videographer. He did a lot of big videos for people like Trina, Ross, a couple of other people he did videography for, and he was doing a video for me, and I actually said a bar in the line that he asked me to take out, right? Because I was like, that's when Cheeks was good in the hood and everybody was friends, right? Because that was what was on my mind at that time. And he's like, Damo, come on, like I fuck with Cheeks. I'm like, I fuck with Cheeks too, right? But I was mad because, again, Talik got killed. You know, Freaky Ty got killed, for the people that don't know about Talik.
Any last words on the legacy of the Lost Boys?
Lost Boys is gonna be forever, man. I'm gonna tell you that. That's one thing. Lost Boys is still going strong. Cheeks is touring, like he's doing what he got to do, and you know, big ups. That's the South Jamaica legacy for real.
Yeah, it was more than the music. It was more than that group. It was a lot of people.
It was a movement.
Hundreds of people. Like that was
still to this day. You got Lost Boys in Virginia. You got Lost Boys in North Carolina, Florida, wherever, all across the world. There are Lost Boys. St. Louis. Shout out to La. Like you got Lost Boys all over.
Yeah, I'm grateful that I got to explore that because I feel like I do feel like the Lost Boys don't get credit, and for me to do an interview where we keep their name alive, even though their name is alive.
Right.
I'm not saying that I'm doing that by myself.
No, I get what you're saying. Though. But, they don't get the credit that they deserve.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I gotta figure this out because one thing that Cam Capone interview did was great, and shout out to Cam Capone. Mm-hmm. This idea, like, there's a lot of narratives that sprint around that time. What is the song that really set shit off from Jamaica, like that 50 Cent thing? Because people mentioned the Ghetto Quran, but to me, that sounded like God gave me style, God gave me grace. Like, it was almost like positive, the Ghetto Quran. But then there's the other songs like Life's on the Line, How to Rob, Murder, Murder. Was that really the song that did it? Or was it just the movement was too much?
Was that the song that did what?
Was that the song that, because there's this like theory that a song came out. They said it in the Beef DVD. And the Ghetto Quran was one of them, or How to Rob was the one that did it.
That did what?
That changed things. Like, it was like a bomb that dropped.
No, it wasn't. No. How to Rob, it was a great song, right? It ruffled a lot of feathers, but it didn't catapult Fifth into that mega stardom or street stardom wave. Nah, hell no. I think it was the mixtapes. You know, after he came back, after he got shot, it's like, yo, I took these shots, I took these bullets, and I'm back better than ever. So, songs like Problem Child or Ma, 50 Back at It Again, like them type of shits, those are the songs that started making him blow up. Like shit like Bump That. Like the mixtape shit that he was doing. Like he was crushing them with that shit. So the streets was paying attention after you get shot. Like people's like, oh yeah, what are you gonna do now? And he did what he had to do.
So I guess maybe the idea was that, oh, he got shot, he's done. That type of thing. And he comes back and he's the same, he's bigger and better.
He's bigger and better. Yeah, he wasn't the same after he got shot. He was like Superman at that time.
Yeah.
You know?
He was catching
that's
chairs.
What people looked at like yeah, I'm Superman. Like, you know, like I survived this, I ate those, now I'm back, better than ever.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? Because thinking about the Lost Boyz, I feel like 50 Cent's lyricism doesn't get credit. Like, I think people think of him as like a go. But I think lyrically he's so talented. Do you agree with that? You seem to be kind of, your body language seems like, nah.
No. Listen. I'm not a hater, right? I agree 1,000%, right? 50 is a great lyricist. He says some slick shit, right? But my face did that because like he's taken bars from me before.
Ooh.
Right? Like I said, so what if you diesel and like to lift weights, bitch? My 4-5 will lift you in that weight bench. This is something I said when I was young. It's something that I actually spit to him. He said, so what if you diesel and got a big chest? My 4-5 will lift you in that bench press. I said, oh shit. And then I said, yo, I got bullets for your whole hood like government cheese. And he said, I give guns away in the hood like it's government cheese. And I was like, what the fuck? Me and Smurf actually got into an argument behind that shit because I'm like, yo, boy, this nigga stole my shit.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I hated it. You heard, I was mad. But, you know, Smurf spoke to me. He like, nah, yo, it is what it is. Just let it be. And I was like, yeah, all right, whatever, fuck it, you know. But I shouldn't have been surprised because it's somebody else's balls that I know he stole. There's a dude from our hood named Rydell. Now, but it was kind of like he dissed Rydell in the bar that he took because Rydell said, I got a fast car, NASCAR, truck with a crash bar. And 50 came, he said, leave it to them. And they say they got a fast car, NASCAR, truck with a crash bar. See him in the 5 with stock rims. I just laughed, Paul. This was real shit. Rydell had the BMW 5 Series with the stock rims and shit like that. But that shit was dope back in the days. The BMW wagon was dope back in the days. But he used that although he took his balls, he used that as an opportunity to shoot at him. For what reason? I don't know.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I go through this with like the Haven and Oskino where Jay will do something that other people will be like, yo, that's not a big deal. They don't even talk about you.
Right.
And why would they talk about you? They billionaires. They got money. They don't give a fuck about y'all. But they're like, this is about me. I know it's about me. And y'all think I'm crazy.
Right.
So what is it with these rappers? They get so rich, have the most beautiful women in the world, have the fastest cars, talking to CEOs from Pepsi, that they still feel the need to take shots at people from like their childhood or from the past.
I don't know. Actually, like I guess they feel like crushing that person's dreams or whatever the case may be. I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know.
As if I feel like it's a way to talk to y'all because they can't.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and it's a way to say yeah. Although I know you, fuck you, like you know.
Has he always been like that? Has he always kind of played those 50? Like, does he play like those mind games with people? Because it seems like he does the same thing on Twitter.
Yeah, he shot out a lot of people from my hood. Shout outs to Mutlow. Mutlow was he was a big deal around my way back in the days and whatnot. Shout out to Mutlow, you know. He did that with him. You know, he threw shots at him on the song because he felt like Mutt was supposed to give him a gun after he got shot, or the gun that he wanted after he got shot. And I think Mutt gave him a 9 as opposed to a 40 cal, and I think he was mad behind that. And he shot at Mutt. He shot at Bob Busy, which was like an OG around my way. He shot at Busy. He shot at Charlie Rock, rest in peace and whatnot, like, cause Charlie Rock was again a hustler that ended up falling off, and you know, 50 made light of his situation. Like he does a lot like in his music that people from the block will know. Like he said, rest in peace to Black. That's my man Donnell Stevens, right? He said, L took my Trey Pound and blew Black heart out his back. Now this is a very sensitive subject because Black is our childhood friend, right? And the person that he got killed by is our childhood friend. That person ended up doing time for it, but it was something that was never meant to happen. It was like some spontaneous shit, and that divided the hood also. So when he say certain shit, people feel some sort of way because they understand what he's talking about.
Yeah. And to the greater public, it just looks
like
y'all
it's just
bitter.
They listening to like, L took my Trey Pound and blew Black heart out his back. And they'll repeat shit like that, not knowing Black was a lovable dude, an official individual.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because watching some of these things, it's hard to fathom the amount these words, like speaking to people, like they feel like the people who are on the outside who don't get to speak feel like these are spells being casted. Like these are spells that people repeat, and the trauma could come back and all that stuff. But I mean, I feel like he is speaking his soul, so you would think it's like also creative. Like, should he not speak about it? That's really how he feels and all that. But yeah, and I was also watching like Bangum, Smurfs interviews and all that,
right.
and I would love to talk to him one day as well. But
absolutely, we're gonna sign. We're gonna set that up. Yeah, definitely gonna get that interview with Smurf.
Yeah, if y'all could do it together, that'd probably be dope.
Yeah.
And you just interview him, but that was one thing I was like wanted to talk about because he said some story on InfoMinds. I love InfoMinds, the channel. That's like one of my first channels that I started watching. He said that after like the murder, there was like this confrontation between Preem and 50 where they met, and like it wasn't like a over confrontation, but it was like a playful, but it was real. Were you there for that?
No, I wasn't there.
That was like it was like a hug, and the hug was.
Now he tried to touch Preem head or something like that. Yeah. I think I seen that, but I didn't.
Was that talked about at the time, or was it like just it came up later?
It was spoken about, but I didn't. I wasn't there for that. That situation.
It sounds kind of funny, but I don't even know. I don't even know if you can answer that. But like, was the Preem 50 thing a real thing, or was it just? Seems like it was a real thing by what you just did there.
Well, he said everybody was somebody already know.
Yeah. I think the thing about, do you think 50 like built? Because you said punching Nelly in the face. You think he intentionally made it seem like he was really going at these street figures, or it was another thing?
No, it's not that he was going at these street figures, but he was going at people that these street figures were affiliated with, and maybe these street figures didn't like what he was doing because that's their bread and butter.
Yeah, I want to get to the G Unit thing. Was Lost Boyz, because you said Lost Boyz was more than a rap group.
Yeah.
G Unit, was that the same thing? Was it more than
no? Because Lost Boyz had history before they became rappers. 50 was already rapping. He was already signed to Jam Master Jay before. He was already signed to Track Masters, Sony, Columbia, Tommy Mottola. So after he got shot, he created G Unit, and it was at that point equivalent to a street crew. His smart thing is he took dudes from different areas that had different crews that were putting in work, and he branched them together. He got the main guys from each group, and he merged them together.
What exactly was your role? Were you one of the those people that you just mentioned?
I was a G Unit soldier. Yes.
Okay. What does a soldier mean? I know what it means in the
part of the movement, man. Okay. You know.
Do you regret your roles as a soldier now that you look back, or was it like something else?
I mean, no, I don't. I'm here now. A lot of people think I'm bitter or I hate 50. I really don't. I really actually don't have a problem with him, right? I have a problem with some of the things that he did, and it's not about money being taken back. That's your money. Whatever. Prince said on the podcast, like, we don't respect nobody's money at all, right? That means nothing to me. I don't care about that, right? I always have my own anyway, right? It may not be as much, but I have my own, you know? And what he eat don't make me shit. But it was things that happened behind the scenes that can't be taken back that I was just like, you know, nah, fuck that. Like, you know.
You talking about like blackballing and stuff like that?
Nah, listen, the blackballing is really not even it. People get it confused. I don't care. You're supposed to do that. We went to war. You played war games. You're supposed to blackball me. That's fine. That's fine. Other stuff you did it was beyond that. You know.
Yeah. Would you think is an accurate perception that like because the Preem team has always mentioned well y'all like the young boys will be y'all men now
right
but like back then y'all were the young boys and y'all needed to represent a new movement in order for 50 to kind of even like really move around. Not that he needed like, but he just kind of needed a movement.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
every rapper needs a movement.
Yeah, every rapper needs a movement.
Especially
he
back
had
then.
a movement. He had a movement, and he had a lot of young people that didn't give a fuck about Preem, respectfully, you know. But Preem was the OG. But again, like I said, we looked at him as a reward.
Wow.
At that time, you know. Unfortunately,
how is that even possible?
that's how the streets go, you know. Yeah. The young gunner want to take the OG out to get that respect, you know.
That's like a changing of the guard. Like 50, that's what he represented. So I can see why there might be like a tug of war that's beyond the music, where it's like this is not just I'm dropping music, getting at. This is a literal. The idea that a movement can even exist, is a sign that I think would be alarming. Yeah. So I get it. I get it. So I gotta go through the fallout because you are really, really, really talented at music. You are able to make songs. I think you would make like not because I think it's an insult to say you made girl records, but like back in the day, it was idea like you made a girl record, and I was like,
I make girl records. I do that. I make all types of records for all types of people because we not the same 24/7. When you with your family, you're not the same as when you in the streets, right? When you feeling sad, it's not the same music as when you happy, right? When you see injustices, you're not gonna make the same music like party music, right? So I feel like everybody is an onion and everybody has different layers. To say you don't, and that would make you a robot, right? That's the thing that differentiates humans from fucking artificial intelligence or robots or something like that. That we have that ability to change up, you know? I always used to say shit like, I make real music for real people in real situations. A lot of people just attached me to the drama, including the record label that I was signed to at a point, right? Koch Records, you know? Koch marketed my album as the true story of bullshit, beef, and betrayal. God Giveth, God Taketh Away wasn't about that, right? Even the single they pushed my single Ghetto, right? I wanted to go with a song called On My Side. It was a more conscious song because this is what I was feeling at the time. The shit with Amadou Diallo had just happened. The shit with Abner Louima happened and whatnot, right? And I wanted to use my voice to speak on shit like that. But Koch had a different outlook on the situation, and they wanted to attach me to the beef, right? Or they wanted to make that their main point of focus, and that's not what I wanted, right? The song On My Side, it go, see the sun don't shine on my side, teardrops, dark clouds, a lot of crime on my side. There's more funerals than weddings, less books than weapons. Life is hell, so is death heaven. This is the type of shit that I wanted to push. That's the message that I wanted to push, you know? But Koch had a different view.
Koch was like it was like the NWO, like as far as like a label coming back, they had even like Ray J, Sexy Cannot, because I remember being in college and I was like the music director. I was like, man, what is this label with all this heat?
Koch had a lot of music. Like they had a huge catalog. When I was up there, Mobb Deep was doing a album through Land Speed. Koch, the whole Dipset was up there. Jim Jones, his album was up there. Like that was his home. Like for real. Like he ran.
It was the A side.
He ran Koch. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I was mad at one point because our albums was coming out around the same time. He was doing Summer with Miami, right? and we had God Give God Take It Away coming out, and they only gave us posters and they wrapped the vehicle that we brought, right? Shout out to Mook Diamond. They wrapped the vehicle that we bought. This nigga Jim Jones had a tour bus wrapped with the Summer from Miami shit, and his promotional items was palm trees.
Like literal trees?
Literal trees.
Or like fake toy trees?
No, real palm trees. That nigga had palm trees. Like I was like, fuck. You know, so yeah, that shit. I wasn't mad at Jim himself because he was doing his numbers. He had to join with Trey Songz, some in Miami. But man, with Koch, I was fucking pissed. I was like, motherfucker, y'all got this nigga palm trees. Like, I would never say that to them, or they didn't know that was my feelings and whatnot. But that's how I felt. Like, damn, y'all ain't putting this energy behind me, and I need it, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting blackballed. I need this shit.
What was the type of deal you had with Koch?
Oh, I had a label deal with Koch, GF Records, Smurf and I. You know, we had a 60-40 split. We gave them an extra 10% for promotions, right? But
that seemed like
they didn't do a good job of promotions. Not like, I love the people at Koch, the workers. Shout out to D, shout out to Shadow, shout out to Marlene. Like, you know, even Alan Grumblatt. Like, I'm appreciative of them. They just didn't know how to work with us. Yeah. You know, I think we were the only artists that was signed to Koch that didn't have a true co-sign, like a big artist co-sign, or didn't come in with a co-sign like from a camp. Like you see, like Jim Jones had Cameron that was still backing him while he was on Koch. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Mobb Deep had their legacy. You know, so we were the only ones that like came straight off the streets to Koch, to my understanding.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Is that why they called you a graveyard when y'all signed to it?
Oh, nah. Nah. He was beefing beefing with Cameron and them on that shit. I don't know why he said that. Like, he said that because other artists was going over there after their career was like, you know, a little bit on the downside, right? Yeah. Which is not a bad thing. Oh, Sheik Luch was up there also. It's not a bad thing because, you know, if the big labels give up on you, right, but you still got a good following. If you sell 100,000 records on Koch, that's equivalent to going platinum on the major labels. So, you know, I don't know why Fifth said that, but
yeah, the idea, like, I want to talk about what a blackball is like, because I do agree when people say 50 and Jay-Z they blackball people. I feel like that's what people did to them to some regard. Yeah. So they just. Like, I know Jay-Z probably felt like he was being blackballed.
Well, I don't know if Jay got that. Jay never got that treatment, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Not to the extent that 50 got it.
50 got that treatment. Yeah. Right. He got that treatment. Getting blackballed, it's a fucked up situation because, you know, you don't get to tell your side of the story. Like, this shit is called Quiet Out Loud TV podcast. You getting the people's story that are otherwise unsung, right? And as everybody says, always three sides to the story. It's his story, and then there's his story. Yeah. You know? And I don't know, man. Like,
there's no way your music could get played on Hot 97. No way.
Yeah. Shout out to K Slay though. Like, you know, he put me on Rolling 25 Deep, but he was up at Koch also, but he actually made the call to Alan Grumblatt, and he wanted to have me on there. So rest in peace to him. There was certain underground DJs that was fucking with me: Big Cap, DJ Don DeMarco, Sycamore, Big Mike, DJ Cochise. Yeah, I don't want to forget nobody. Absolute was fucking with us.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah. But it was really hard. Superstar J also, but he didn't want to be a part of that whole drama, which in retrospect, I understand it now, right? Because nobody wants to be attached to the drama when it can hurt their career. So, you know, like, self-preservation is the number one rule of life. So at the end of the day, him telling me he couldn't host my mixtape, I respect it because he was preserving himself, you know.
You think Koch signed you because of the drama?
Yes. And we was grinding. we was super grinding. Like I got in Source magazine 2 times without the help of a label, right? I was printing up mixtapes left and right. Like my mixtapes were sold out in the streets, right? We couldn't go past a bootlegger without him saying, "Yo, we need more CDs." We like, "Yo, just make them yourself at this point." You know what I'm saying? Like we was on the grind. We used to jump out. I don't care what hood it was. We was jumping out, giving niggas CDs. Yo, here, everywhere. We was just grinding. You know.
How did you make the CDs? Did you were you in your house just cloning CDs, or other people?
We got to that point, but at first we was going up in Harlem. They had a spot, and it was some Chinese people that used to print your CDs, right? So we used to get like 5,000 CDs at a time, and then we would sit in Smurf Mom's living room, and we would just be bagging CDs up all day. The inserts.
How much did that cost?
Shit, man, that shit was money at that time.
Yeah,
it was money at that time. I think we was paying about $1 a CD, you know.
Oh, so like 5,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I know it's crazy because I feel like
street dudes like damn every trip, but you know we was grinding, and we had some good people in our corner. Shout outs to my man Joe Gotti, lyrically. He helped us out a lot with studio time. We met him through my man Los. Jimmy Kendricks, he's a big producer. We just actually got back in touch. He did a lot of the beats on my first Groundwork mixtape. There was a lot of people that were like instrumental to my career.
That's dope. Dope. Was the Source interview also another beef thing?
Who?
The Source?
The Source interview? No, it wasn't about beef. I did the mic checks. I did the mic check section of the Source and on the radar. It wasn't.
So Benzino wasn't. That Benzino.
No. Hell no. A dude named Gotti. Light-skinned dude with braids, he actually is the one. And he sent a dude named Rashawn to interview us. Yeah, it was nothing about 50. It had nothing to do with 50 at all. We didn't speak about 50 in the Source at all.
Would you have done anything different in that time to get your music out there? What would it be?
I think we did everything that we were supposed to do at that time. We was grinding. Like I got a 10-page article in the Radical magazine in France. I was doing something correct, right? I reached people in Germany, Japan, the Netherlands, Switzerland, right? Like I have an extensive fan base. Yeah. Canada, like all across the world. I got people in my DMs from everywhere, And again, the only thing that really hurt us was blackballing, not having those radio spins and that advertisement, and those advertising dollars, things of that nature, But we was getting love. We was getting endorsements and stuff like that. Like Coogee, they used to send us clothes. Mesquite used to send us clothes. Drunken Monkey used to send us clothes. Drunken Monkey, I love that used to send us clothes. Who else used to send us shit, man? Fubu Platinum, they used to send us clothes. Storlin Dean. We was making a little noise. Plus, we had our own little situations going on. We had Gangsta Flip Rims through Rennin International. We had Trees Raps. Shout outs to my man Quincy. And shout outs to Gore-Tex for linking that relationship. We was doing some things as young entrepreneurs. And doing it on our own too, like we had an internet guy. Shout outs to my man Reem. Reem used to be putting all the interviews together for us, contacting people, and he was very instrumental in that career also.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about, obviously this it kind of has to do with that, but the Summer Jam incident. I know Hot 97 is notorious for blackballing people. If they do stuff like that, if they show up to an event, Saigon said something about Ebro that he went to an event and he got into something. I think Wu-Tang had said something happened at Hot 97. I think Fat Joe had said there was an incident that happened, not at Summer Jam, but another thing. Do you think that incident had anything to do with your blackballing?
No, because we was getting blackballed before that.
Okay.
Way before that.
Nothing to lose.
Hot 97 really wasn't playing our shit at the time.
You ever got any communication from them? Just not.
As far as what?
We're not playing your shit. No, it was just.
But I knew they wasn't fucking with me because like a dude, Green Land. He had Game on the show talking about me and playing his music, dissing me. But I'm from New York, and he ain't have me up there. Like nigga, you just letting this nigga come trash talk me at the time. Like that shit was, to me, it was whack. I actually called Green Land on that, and I actually knew where Green Land lived at that time. You know, he lived in my man building. I won't say the person's name he lived in building, but it was right outside the Holland Tunnel in Jersey City. And I ain't gonna lie, I was really, really upset behind that shit. Like, nigga, you playing, I'm from New York, and you pushing this nigga shit, dissing me, but you ain't gonna play my shit? Getting back with him? Like, nah, that's corny, you know?
So you had issues with the Game. Just why was Game dissing you? I don't get it.
He,
If y'all don't,
we might have. I don't know if we diss Game first, right? But I think Smurf said some disrespectful shit about one of his homies at the time, and you know, he took umbrage to that, and he started dissing me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Green Lantern was playing the music on
Yeah.
Sirius. Was that? I feel like Sirius or Hot 97.
No, Hot 97. He was playing the music.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's got it. Yeah. The station that
in
blackballed.
my city, like,
yeah.
like, come on, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, this nigga on drugs, like.
Oh, one thing, because I gotta ask about other members of the unit. Yayo, man,
Right.
you know it's funny. I saw this 50 Cent body slam Yayo.
I don't know nothing about that.
No, but what do y'all didn't think nothing about? You thought that was odd, or is that just?
I mean, that's his man. At the end of the day, I don't know if I don't know. I don't know
what led to that.
What led to that? So I can't say yo he did on some clown to him shit. I can't say that. You know, I mean, we play like that in the hood sometimes. Like when you was growing up and you walking to school, look, push a nigga in the bushes, Busch Gardens. You heard that? This is things that was doing. So I don't know if it was in a playful manner or if he was dead serious about the situation. But you know, I can't really comment on that.
So like. Let's just theoretical. I'm not gonna body slam you,
Right.
but let's say I body slam you on the ground. Right? We don't have that rapport, so you would be like,
No.
"Yo, why are you body slamming me?"
If any of my mans did that to me, I'm gonna want to fight. Like, 'cause,
Okay.
yeah, we gotta shoot it because I ain't into playing like that.
Yeah.
You know.
And you're not young.
When we was kids, yeah, like you do shit like that. But as a grown man, nah, we ain't playing like that. No, we gotta shoot it.
Okay. Because I think it is like getting body slammed in the dirt is like just a lot. But I don't know, man.
Yeah, I got no comment.
Because the rumor at the time was that it was because he asked Floyd for money, but I ain't know. And I just thought maybe you guys had seen that. And I don't even know what's your connection to Yayo. Do y'all even, like, I think you had said you met Yayo back in the day before 50.
Yeah, we all knew each other around the same time. We all from 134 in God Broad. Yayo was hustling up there just like it was 20 other hustlers up there. Like, Fifth was up there again. He was removed from the drug game at that time because he was doing his music heavy. Yeah. So, yeah. Nah, yeah, it was all right.
Yeah. You listen to his podcast? You even, like, listen to that type of stuff?
Do what?
His podcast?
What about his podcast?
You listen to it?
Nah. Why would I listen to his podcast?
It's pretty popular. Like, it got hundreds of thousands of views.
Kudos to him. I mean,
Okay.
we're not friends.
Why y'all not?
We not friends.
Y'all was never friends?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we was cool.
Okay.
But again, like I said, you know, after the fallout, you know, it's a lot of shit happened behind the scenes, and
Were Yayo involved, or just everybody had to?
Yayo
go?
was involved in some shit. Shit happened behind him also. Yeah. He mentioned my name in a Double XL magazine. If you see the Double XL magazine, with Yayo on the cover for his Thoughts of a Predicate Felon thing, he that article mentions my name. Mm-hmm.
How does it get mentioned?
In a negative light. Not he's not talking about me, but he's talking about an associate of mine.
It's about you. You know it's about you.
No, he said my name.
Okay.
They put my name in it. Like, an associate of mine said something and one of his people's knocked or broke my man's jaw. So, you know.
Oh, so there is real, like. Okay, those, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think Yayo's really talented at podcasting. I wasn't a big fan of the music. Mm-hmm. I think the music he made was very much influenced. Like it sounded better because the beats and having 50 Cent on it and having Llyoyd on it. I think it kind of like threw a lot of sauce on his artistic ability. But yeah, that's interesting to see that.
Yeah, he was a good hype man.
Yeah. And I don't think that's a diss. Is that a diss?
No, it's not a diss
yeah,
at all. It's not by all means. He's very animated. You know? He's very animated. Yayo and I actually had a disagreement back in the days because when I was younger and whatnot, like I used to battle a lot and I thought I was better than him. And then I said that and he spoke to me about it and whatnot. But this is how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like
you meant better than him, like lyrically or just like better at everything?
Yeah, lyrically. We talking about lyrics at this point. Yeah, I felt I was better.
Yeah.
That's it. Like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can see why you would think you were better because I think lyrically you were like really talented and you were able to catch flows and also talk about things and get different bags, which I never got from him. But I think he kind of didn't want to do that either. So
yeah, it's all good. Like I said, it ain't a diss. It is what it is. I just felt like I was better.
yeah. And that's hip hop.
It's hip hop, right?
Yeah. You had said recently that in the book, Banks was exposed.
Yes.
What did you mean? I'm assuming the biography 50's book. What do you mean by that? Like, how do you get exposed in the book? You read that book, I assume.
Yeah, I read that book. That's a fact. I was incarcerated 14 years and shit like that.
Yeah,
so,
man, that's a long time.
I read shit, and I read that book, and he was just speaking about Banks's character, right, as far as his street credibility, and he said some things. He said. He never had to sell drugs. He never had to stab nobody. He never had to shoot nobody, right? And Fifth accredits it with him putting him in the spotlight. But,
That's why they called him Lazy Lloyd because he was always in the house or something.
No. I'm not saying he was away at Job Corps. I'm not saying that. Like, when he came back from Job Corps, he used to come on the block. Nobody knew he rapped. He was quiet. Lazy Lloyd was a moniker that he gave himself. It wasn't because he was lazy or nothing like that. Nah, he was always nice. He was always super nice. When he came to the block after his stint in Job Corps and whatnot, like, they made he and I battle, right? I didn't even know he rapped at the time, right? And he was super nice. Shout out to Fat Shy, rest in peace, DJ Rough Hands. Like, Rough Hands put money up for him, and Smurf put money up for me. But they both could not be at the battle because Smurf is very animated and loud and has the power to influence the crowd. And DJ Rough Hands, Fat Shy, was the same way. They both was like equally animated, like, and they got the power to influence, right? So, they went across the street while he and I battled and whatnot. And the people that was there ended up calling it a tie. So nobody got the money. Fat Shy did some funny shit and ran off with the money, but he eventually... Smurf chased him and he gave him his money back and shit like that. But yeah,
I gotta ask because you said this with ease about Yayo. You said you thought you was better than Yayo. Did you think you was better than Banks?
Banks was a hard one. You heard? He used to say some shit. You heard? Do I feel I'm better? Of course I feel I'm better.
You're not, you're not saying it with conviction.
You heard? But nah. Banks was nice. He was really like metaphorically he's a problem. Yeah, his metaphors was punching. You heard? Like, I remember the nigga said, yo, the only way I get blue balls is if a bitch had blue lipstick. And I was like, oh, shit. Yes, nigga.
That's fly talk.
Yeah, he was different. It was fly talk. Yeah. He used to spit some shit. You know? He used to always come to me and we used to always trade balls, too, on the block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know it sounds crazy. I went to school, like, during the time high school. G-Unit was that shit. And it was Dipset as well.
Facts.
And it's not 50 was obviously the big art, but there was people in New York that preferred Lloyd.
A lot of people prefer Lloyd. 50 knows that though.
Yeah,
I've heard him tell Lloyd, like, a dude named Gio. We was in Teamwork Studios one time, and a dude named Gio said to him, like, yo, he better than you. And he looked at Banks and said, don't you ever say that. Don't you ever tell nobody that.
Wait, who said that? Wait,
50 said that to Banks.
Okay.
Yeah, like that was like to keep him in his place, like never outshine the master. Like, don't you ever tell nobody that you better than me.
Lloyd said that he was better? Or
no,
somebody
Lloyd
else said that?
Somebody else said that.
Oh.
And Fifth, that was his reply. Yeah. said,
damn, that must have been a heavy type situation. And
it wasn't really. I can't say it was like a heavy situation.
Yeah.
It was just like I'm the big dog, nigga. Like you know, 50 is like he needs to be number one. He needs to be the alpha.
Yeah.
So.
And I think he also has the songwriting ability, right? Like as far as like making hits.
Yeah. He has a songwriting ability. Absolutely. Like it's funny because I laugh because I seen Smurf talk about it and Sha Money XL talk about it, and this is knowledge I know of about Banks being responsible for the In the Club hook. But I seen Fifth go in studios and write a hit record for Banks. Like we was in the city somewhere with the dude Red Spider, and he wrote the song Porno Star, you know? And I was like, nah, 50 did that. He did that fast, too. 1, 2, 3, you know?
Yeah. And it's funny because I think about, like, there's these guys who have this ability to make hits. And I think about Method Man. Like, obviously there's people who think Ghostface, RZA, Raekwon are better than Meth, but Meth can make a hit because of the hooks.
Listen, shit. You got to look at Wu-Tang history. If you want to talk about that and people want to debate with you about, look, Meth was so ill at the time, right? And I'm not talking about just lyrical ability, but his song making was so ill at the time. They had to make METHOD, man, a single for 36 Chambers.
Yeah.
Right? Because the other single, what was it? Protect Your Neck wasn't hitting the way METHOD.
Yes, yeah.
Man, METHOD, man, came out. That shit was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, and even Method's ability, because that's a Hall & Oates reference.
Yeah.
Method of Modern Love. And he's like, he listened to music, and he's like, this shit's going to fit right here. And that's what I got from 50 as well. Like, he listened to other songs. He knew what to take. Sometimes you can listen to Will Smith and be like, this shit will sound fly on a gangster song. Like, and,
Right.
And I think that, I think it's hard to make popular music. I'm not one of those people that thinks, oh, if you make popular, you ain't shit. I think it's more difficult sometimes to do that than like being intense lyrically. I think that's dope too. If you could combine both, you next level. Which is why Kendrick is regarded the way he is. But nah, that's dope. But I do appreciate you showing some level of self-awareness and not being like, yo, I was better than Banks. Because at that time, people were comparing him to Hove. People were comparing him to everybody.
Banks is nice, man.
Yeah. Do you think he gets enough credit for G Unit's success or too much?
Who?
Banks.
I don't know. I don't know how much credit people attribute to him and G Unit's success. Like, to me, G Unit was a movement, so everybody had their part to play. And I mean, look, Fifth was the mastermind behind the movement. So, like, he put Banks into place. So, I don't know if, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was just a question because
I'm not sure.
To me, I felt like he was the second B-side, and he was like, at times, like his album was going number 1 too.
Yeah, his album was number 1. Yeah, they had a movement at the time. All of them was lit up at the time.
Yeah.
Fact. But as far as credit goes, I don't know who deserves the most credit. I mean, Fifth is obviously spearheaded the movement, so I think credit belongs to him.
Yeah. He is the shoulders that it was on. So it's kind of weird because you say like he wasn't really like in that world. For him to be the one who gets like shot is odd to me, and I guess that was a wrong place, wrong time type of situation. So
the night he got shot, somebody in my car is the one that started that shootout. Right? So we was at the Diamond Gym on Jamaica Avenue, and a dude, rest in peace, named Rude Boy, was with us. It was a G-Unit party, one of our first parties and shit like that. And we was in there, we was having a good time. And Rude Boy saw somebody that he had a disagreement with, right? That person left. That person went to get people and came back. See, Diamond Gym is on the 2nd floor, right? You could see outside because it's all glass. And we looking outside, and it's a whole corner full of dudes. They on this corner right here. There's 4 corners, right? A bank is on this corner. You got this corner here, you got this corner here, you got this corner here. These dudes was on this corner looking up at the club, waiting for Rude Boy. So everybody that was there, a lot of people from my hood, you had people from Circle 1, you had people from 164 and 107, you had people from 40, you had a lot of people was there. You had people from Rockaway and 131 that was there. It was just a plethora of people. So niggas is like, yo, you got to get Rude Boy out of here. Everybody, like, yo, we got to get him out of here. So we leave. I was with my cousin Joey and my man Rye at the time, and my other man Rye came to the car. He like, yo, these niggas here for Rude Boy. I'm about to spark it up. You heard? So he could get up out of here. My man started shooting with a Tech 22. That shit ended up jamming. Everybody started shooting after that. I'm talking about everybody. You don't even know who was with what type of beef. It was people that got shot. Shout out to Just from Circle 1. He got shot. He had nothing to do with it. Yayo brother Yus got shot that night. Banks got shot that night. It's just he got caught in the crossfire. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody was shooting that night. Mm-hmm.
Damn, there's
yeah.
So it was just, it wasn't even the only one that got shot that night.
No,
it was just anybody could have.
Yeah. Everybody was, and it, listen, people was catching strays. It was just a chaotic situation. So it wasn't like he was the intended target. You know what I'm saying?
It was a war. Yeah.
It wasn't even like really. He got hit on some accident shit. You know?
Was it like a friendly fire situation almost?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You had some people that claimed responsibility or said they had something to do with it, and niggas went back to their side and got busy, but nobody really knows. Truthfully, nobody really knows who shot who.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those situations. It's like, imagine four corners of dudes from different areas, and it's just chaotic, and everybody just shooting.
We don't know, but it kind of might have went the best if nobody died.
Yeah, nobody died.
Which is a blessing in some way.
That's more than a blessing.
Yeah. Because there's nights when that don't happen.
That's a fact. There's a lot of nights when that don't happen.
Yeah. So I kind of, because there was a situation with you and like was it a restaurant?
Oh, Mo's Barbecue.
Mo's Barbecue.
Yeah.
That was your event, right? That was
my event. Yeah.
And I guess this same acts of violence.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
I don't think you laughing because it was a fun time.
Nah, it was definitely not a fun time. I was really on guard that night because some shit had happened a little bit prior to that, and I didn't want to be in that spot. And I told my my son Soldier 6'5" and a couple of my other guys, like, yo, listen, I don't even feel like coming here, right? That was my man Diamond D party. Rest in peace to Diamond D. And I was on the flyer of that party, which I don't like being on flyers and whatnot because now you know my location, you know where I might be. So that night was crazy. I remember standing in the middle of the dance floor. It was dark tenant, and I sent my brother outside. I said, yo, tell them niggas come inside. They was like, nah, we out here, boss. Like, we chilling. And I was like, yo, bro, first of all, don't call me boss. I don't like being called boss. I'm regular. Like, I treat all my people the same level, fair, right? I sent my brother outside to get my mans that was outside. I just had, you know, when you just have that feeling, and I had that feeling. And I was standing in the middle. I had a gun on me that night too, right? So I just had this feeling. I'm like, yo, bro, like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, music was blasting, people was drinking, they was having a good time. I was in the middle of the dance floor looking out that window, right? It was tinted. It was dark tinted. You couldn't see nothing outside the window.
Bad. Yeah.
I was just like this. I heard some shit that sounded like a drum roll. Mind you, I just sent my brother outside. So I'm rushing outside. I'm cocking the little shit I had, and I'm rushing outside and shit like that. And my man Ice sister is like, no, Damo, no. I'm like, fuck that. Like, I just sent my brother outside. So I go outside, and my son 6'5" is the one that got hit. Got hit with an AR-15. He got hit in his calf muscle. He got hit in his like right here, behind his eye, like he didn't die though. He actually survived. He got hit like 3 times and he got hit here. The doctor said that this shot right here almost hit his heart. This shot right here made him blind in one eye. Like his shit went through here, you know, and the shit in his leg, it tore off like a chunk of his leg. He had to get a skin graft to repair that. Yeah, that was a wicked night, you know.
So his quality of life was changed. It wasn't like
yeah, that shit wasn't regular. It wasn't regular at all. Like, yeah.
I remember in the Post article they tried to link it towards music. Was that just clickbait at the time? There wasn't clickbait at the time. Do you think it was?
I don't know what was going on. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
You know? I don't know.
It's hard to kind of promote your music in that type of environment.
Yeah. That's the one thing I say. Like, that hindered us too. A lot of people, even maybe the people that weren't worried about the black ball, they was worried about the violence and shit, right? Like, because we had plenty of investigations going on about us. Like, you know, in my man's federal paperwork, it mentions shootings, it mentions a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know, we had like this black cloud. They like, you know, it's dangerous to work with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it is tough, but thanks for sharing that. That's a tough, because I had a mom that was like put through. My mom was like, there was like back when Woolworths were getting robbed back in the day. She was one of the people that was like robbed, and like they told her to get on the ground. They put a gun to her head. Wow. Luckily, she survived. It's like even the thought of getting a shot is enough to change your life forever.
Absolutely is.
So actually getting shot,
it's
like it's trauma.
Yeah.
So one thing that I saw was like you said, I saw Shaw Money's interview about like a Shaw Money interview, and he said something that I thought was interesting. He was like, he believes that 50 sees everyone as like a hoe, like even dudes. And I'm like, is that really? And then when you said the thing that you said in the Cam Capone interview, where you said like nobody is cool with him, or people fall out with him, and I don't even. It's like, and you mentioned like 5 people: Trav, Monster, Shaw Money. Is that by design, or is that people just growing apart?
No, man. I think everybody to fifth is expendable, and if you don't move the way that he wants you to move or he tells you to move, then he has no use for you, really. You know. I don't know with him, man. Like for real. Like I feel like if he can't control you, then he don't want you next to him at all.
Is there consequences for being controlled? Like, do you feel like there's a psychological loss if you do get controlled? Like,
I mean, we all human. We want autonomy, right? We want to be ourselves, right? How can you be yourself if somebody is controlling you? Saying like, yo, like say you around him, right? And your job is security or bodyguard or entourage or whatever, right? But at the same time, you want to make your own business, right?
Mm-hmm.
How can you do that if somebody's controlling you, telling you don't talk to this person, don't talk to that person, don't be over here, don't do that? Like I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I think it's big consequences. That's, to me, it's like you changing who you are.
Yeah.
And I don't never want to be that. I don't never want to change who I am on behalf of somebody else. Like I want to be me always. I want to have the freedom to be myself, right? And I can still be loyal to you, right? But I need that freedom to be who I am.
Yeah, because you lose your. Some people are okay with losing their identity and being part of a bigger thing, but some people are not. Like they rather not even be part of the situation.
That's a fact.
So this is a debate that happened to involve, like we were making, me and my friend were from Brooklyn, right? We Jay-Z fans because that's how it goes, and we were making fun of like Ja Rule, and we was like, yo, if Ja Rule was from our neighborhood, we would act like he was the greatest person ever. And I think, did y'all really, because I think what Ja Rule accomplished was amazing. Like, as far as music, and he was really talented. Yes. And I think, like, many artists, they have to sacrifice some of that, like, real talent to get poppy. And those things, did y'all appreciate what he gave to the rap game? Or was it just like, nah, he's the other side, we can't?
Nah, I mean, Ja always had classic music. Like the songs he made, they classics to this day, right? What are you talking about? At the time that we was like running with you? Yeah, I mean, we had like a hate for him because nigga, you beefing with Fifth. You beefing with somebody from my side. We ain't fucking with you. Fuck it, you know. But as far as his talent, I mean, like that goes without saying. It's undeniable. Like when he was signed to Def Jam, he had actually sold more records than Jay-Z one year.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was The Pain Is Love. I think that shit went like 3 times platinum. So his talent is undeniable, right? 50 just hit him at the perfect time. People don't even look at it like this, right? Like DMX was getting at him at the time, right?
DMX was getting at who? Ja Rule?
At Ja Rule. Remember he was trying to say the thing with the homosexual activities or whatever the case may be. So all of this shit contributed to his downfall, right? He was doing music for the females, right? The dudes felt left out. Yo, we need you doing female songs. You on some pop shit. You know, around that time, dudes was heavy on they gangster rap shit. Yeah. You know, and Fifth was like the savior of gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think there was a lot of elements that contributed to people not fucking with Ja. Like, to me, they were all superficial though, because it's like he never did nothing that was questionable. Yeah. Right?
I even think when he tried to rap like quote unquote gangster again, some of that shit was hard. Like the clapback. I
don't think clapback was hard.
You don't think it was hard?
I think it was dirt.
What do you do?
I think it was dirt.
Why?
Now, because it was dirt.
Okay.
That wasn't the song. You Come Back. 50. You know what type of music 50 was having at that time? That
hits.
He had hits. He couldn't fuck with him with clapback. Come on. What song of 50's is that comparable to?
Clapback.
No, man, that shit is dirt. Respectfully.
Yeah. See, I probably laughed. Was this really what was happening?
We gonna clap back. That was mad generic. Like for somebody that actually make hits, that was generic. I ain't really jacked that. It was corny.
Okay.
But New York was it though. New York was it. I was like, whoa.
How was it when like somebody had beef with drops absolute fire?
Well, we wasn't around Fifth at that time, so you know that was again. That's 50 beef. That really wasn't our beef. So a lot of people get mad, y'all. That's 50 beef. That's his beef. When he dropped that song, we was far removed from the G Unit camp. Yeah. And I liked the song, you know?
Yeah.
I think 50 liked the song.
Why you think that?
Because I think he do. Because I know he was mad. He started shooting at Fat Joe and Jadakiss after they made that song with him.
Where were you heard the Jadakiss diss of 50? Because that was...
Oh, I was in the town.
that was a shocker. That was like seeing the bully just get smacked. Because I remember listening to that. Star and Buckwild, I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, I know Star and Buckwild. Hell yeah.
Yeah, they was like the man of the radio. He played that song and Star comes back from the song. He's like, 50, you should have left him alone. And it was like you the champ with a glass jaw. Oh my God.
But see, 50 had the machine at that time, and it was a great song, right?
Yeah.
But
it was his song. It was Animal, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And how did you feel when, like, the thing that Ja Rule got made fun of was replicated by 50? Like, the songs, the women. You was okay with that? You didn't think it was...
Was I okay with it?
Yeah.
No, because it's like you took that man's identity after you shut his shit down. You took his identity, like. Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's a part of war. Like,
you know? I guess you trick somebody into thinking their identity is not what it should be.
Right.
But that you already, like, if I tell you what you do is wrong and then I steal it, then that really bothers you. Like, yo, you did what I did and
facts.
I was criticized. Do you think that? Do you watch Power and all that stuff? Like,
yeah, I watched Power. I was in jail. I used to watch Power. It's a fact.
You feel like any of that was like about y'all or any people?
Nah, hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
Well, Domination, man, it was a pleasure talking to you because sometimes, you know, when you do interviews with people, they may not be good at interviewing. And you're good at interviewing. and that's why I always tell, like, the Haven and Oskino, like, man, talking to you is it's so easy, and I definitely add you to that list. I see you got two bottles with you, and people might think that's something else, but what is that?
Oh, this is our liquor brand. My liquor brand, my man Nigel. Shout out to Nigel. It's called Conjugal. You know, it's one of the things that I was working on and shit like that. Besides the music, you know, I'm doing an EP with this dude named King Kong Bundy, and I'm also working on my own project. Follow me at Dom_King FDW. The Real Domination 134 on YouTube. We're gonna be putting the mixtapes back out, and I'm gonna be hitting y'all with some new music. We're about to do some videos and shit like that, and we just, you know, on some positive energy, positive results shit. You know?
Yeah, I also see you because I think I wouldn't shout it out if it was whack, but I like these clothes you're wearing. Who's that? Yeah, who's that?
Shout outs to my man Sauce, man. This shit is called Loner's Outlet and whatnot, man.
This is like the Knicks.
Yeah,
Got it.
Holla at Sauce, man. Loner's Outlet, yeah. I have my own clothing brand too.
I like that. Yeah. I really did because I mean no disrespect when I say that. It reminded me of like G Unit, Academics, and Nietzsche type clothing, which people make fun of now. Yeah. Like I saw Jim Jones make fun. We wasn't wearing that shit. I was like, we was wearing that. I was wearing that shit.
Wearing what?
Wearing like G Unit, not just G Unit.
That was after my era.
Sean John. All that like that now that has a different thing, but back in the day people was wearing it. We wasn't wearing well, Gucci was unaffordable, so we couldn't.
We wasn't wearing Gucci. But you know what? It's reverting back to those times. Niggas don't care about no Gucci or no Louis Vuitton no more. A lot, honestly, that shit is whack. Nigga that made that shit popping was Dapper Dan, and he was doing bootleg shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But he made that shit so popping because he did it in a style that we could appreciate.
Yeah,
you know,
framed it for the street.
Yeah, that other shit that they was doing that shit was mad corny. Like, niggas rocking shit because it just got G's all over it. That shit is corny.
Yeah.
Whoa, Dapper Dan made that shit fly. Like, you know, and I'm glad they end up giving him a deal. I read his book when I was locked up too. Man, he got a powerful story. I think somebody should actually do like not even a documentary. He need a movie, man.
Yeah.
Oh, he need a movie. Dapper Dan.
HBO.
Man. Yeah, HBO, elite. YouTube movie, something. Yo, Arliss Michaels, that's my man. He do YouTube movies, nigga. Go holla at Dapper Dan and do a movie on Dapper Dan, man, for real.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And I got to ask you about the music because Lord Jamar, I was sitting with him doing the interview, and he said, I got some music coming. And I told him, you know, the amount of shit you talk on the internet, people is going to root for it to be trash.
Right.
How are you going to avoid, because it's hard for rappers that rapped in that time to sound palatable to the ears of today, but it's also hard to change it because then you trying to rap young. What are you doing?
Listen,
how you gonna try to?
I don't rap drill, right? I don't got nothing wrong with drill. I listen to the Dirks. I listen to G Herbos. I listen to fucking what's my son name from the Bronx? Lil TJ. You heard? I listen to the A Boogies. I listen to all the young shit, but that's not my lane. I have up-to-date music, but it don't sound like no back-in-the-day shit. I don't do shit like that. Like, one of my first singles I'm going to put out is called Funerals and Courtrooms, and it's a conscious song. You know, if you want to hear some of it, I could play it for you. I don't know if you able to.
If you're able to play, if you don't strike me, I'll play. You can play it. But yeah, that's the thing is like, with artists like you don't even need 1 million fans. You could have like 1,000 fans or 500 fans. And if they rock with you, they buy your shirts. Right. It's like, they
merch, everything. Yeah. All of that is important nowadays. Like, I respect the young people nowadays, right? Because they actually, from my perspective, they're actually getting more money than when we was doing it back in the days. Back in the days, you was spending a lot of money, studio time, everything. Yeah. A lot of these kids are self-sufficient, and they putting out their merch, and they're branding themselves correctly, and I like that about them. But this is one of the joints.
All right, let's play to the mic.
There's countless men that we lost to the system. We lost to the graveyards. And everybody's seeming like they don't understand. They plotting against us. They've been plotting against us for a long time. Systematic oppression. They say that crime don't pay, but it costs you. I hated that I lost you. These funerals and courtrooms, they be taking mines. They keep taking mines. They say that crime don't pay, but it costs you. I hated that I lost you. These funerals and courtrooms, they be keep taking mine.
God is close to the brokenhearted. Seems like everyone I know is an open target. Picture life being over way before it started. No consideration for the mamas. Furthermore, broken homes come from broken fathers. Ladies, please help us heal instead of jumping on us. Nobody taught us how to deal with trauma. All I ask is you be fair, your honor. What the fuck, 20 years for some pistol charges? When we got Zimmermans trying to do us like in Trayvon Martin. Kaepernick took a knee, these dealers crucified him and tried to justify the actions of a Derek Chauvin. These events can cause a young person's heart to harden. I do not hate the police, but I hate crooked coppers. You know, the ones that get a thrill out of whipping on us, protecting servants that they flip and turn to killers on us. This shit is crazy.
Say that crime don't pay, but it costs you.
So, shit like that.
Yeah, I think you focus on like distributing that to the right places and getting people that want to listen to that.
Right.
Is going to really make an impact. But man, thanks so much, Domination. I appreciate you taking time out your day. It was a real good taking back. Even the Lost Boyz thing I thought was dope. Like talking about them really matters. All right, Domination, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Quiet Out Loud Podcast TV. Check them out now.